let's try this one more time. Hello. My name is JC. Welcome to the How to Teach YouTube channel Vodcast thing that I do, where I want to talk about a thing, but I don't know where else to put it. This is the episode where I'm going to talk about some different things. 2 different things to be precise. I've got a package here from Awakened Realms for the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition Upgrade Bits Kickstarter thing they did a little bit ago. I think it was on GameFound, actually. Actually, I don't remember what it doesn't matter. And then I also want to talk about teacher certificates, I think is what I'm calling them. I have an idea for a thing. We'll get into it. But first, let's unbox some stuff. No, let's start talking about the thing first. We've all seen those stickers or little graphics they put on certain games when they've reached a certain level of acclaim. And you've seen them, you love them. They're like the Shut Up and Sit Down recommends. They're the Dice Tower Awards. I believe Cardboard Edison has one. There's all these different, awards that can be granted to board games that indicate some level of quality, but I have some problems with them. Mostly that they don't really tell you anything other than that this game is a second print. Because if a game is good, it's going to stick around a lot longer. And if a game sucks, retailers are going to stop carrying it. So if a game's not selling, it's just not going to sell. But if a game does really well, those stickers, all they really do is just say, hey, this game, we made more of it because it sold out the first time. And so, yeah, I don't think those are super useful. So I came up with the idea of teaching certificates. And the idea of these is that I want to essentially brand games with brand is in you would with an animal to... The idea behind them is that I would like to basically present games to consumers in a way that indicates how they are able to be taught. And I don't really know if I should go for time or if I should go for difficulty. So I don't know. I don't know how this would work if I were to put a little thing on the front of a board game box. How the frick, what do I do? I've narrowed it down to 2 categories. We have time and we have difficulty. Those are the 2 main factors of teaching a game. How long does it take to teach this game? How difficult is it to teach this game? The problem is that both of those are really nebulous, and I don't really know quite how to articulate either of those in a single sticker. So let's talk about difficulty first. What makes a teach difficult? How do I determine what makes a teach difficult? Because every game is different. Castles of Burgundy is a difficult game to teach, since I have it here, because of all the different building tiles that can all do different things and can affect scoring in different ways. It's been a hot second since I've played this game, which is why I bought a bunch more stuff for it. I genuinely don't know why I got this. But I would say that that's a difficult game to teach, but for its kind of game, for its style and complexity of game, it's probably not that difficult to teach compared to something like, I put myself up to get an example ready. Like Factory 42, which is behind this box that you can't see behind. So Factory 42, which if you're wondering why I have 3 copies of it, it's so you can play Factory 126. Why wouldn't I have 3 copies of that? I like also how it's putting a shadow over me. Anyways, hopefully that doesn't fall. But Factory 42 is a bonkers difficult game to teach relative to Castles of Burgundy because it has paragraphs of text that everyone has to read. I love Factory 42, and I want to do a how to teach episode on it real bad. But it's an awful game to teach. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's really fun once everybody knows it, but to get everyone up to speed, it is a nightmare. So yeah, it's not the best one I would not label that game, but would I label Castles of Burgundy in relation to it? I can't put a sticker on there that says this game is easier to teach than Factory 42, or I'd have to put a sticker on every game. And so I can't determine difficulty to teach based on its genre. I can't just relatively say that a game is easy to teach, because an easy teach doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy for that game. So are we basing it relative if it's difficulty, or are we basing it on complexity of the game, because then if I'm saying that a game's easy to teach just because it's less complex, then I run into the problem of games that aren't that complex but are really actually difficult to teach for what they are. One of my favorite examples of that is Codenames, because when I try to teach Codenames, I don't know what it is about that game in particular, but even though it is the most dead simple, like, clue guessing game, because of its theme and the way that it's presented, I never can quite word how you are supposed to, like, you know, so there's the 5x5 grid of people, and you're like going up and talking to them, and you're giving them their code name, and or I'm giving you their code name, and they have words associated with them, and then you have to go up and talk to them, and you have to figure out which operatives are. Like, I don't get how that game's theme works at all, and I do not really care, because it's easier just to explain the game as its mechanics than it is to explain it as its theme. But because of that, I wouldn't be able to label that as an easy teach, because it's not an easy game to teach, and at least in terms of what it is. So, I mean, it goes both ways, you know? An easy game to teach isn't really that easy in terms of, like, what it is. A hard game to teach isn't necessarily that hard in terms of what it is. So, difficulty feels like a wash of a thing that I can even quantify. So yeah, that's where I'm stuck on difficulty. I don't know how I would judge it other than vibes, but I don't want it to be subjective, you know? That's made difficulty very difficult to do, ironically. The other one is time. Time is quantifiable. I can definitely say that a game takes 10 minutes to teach, 20 minutes to teach, 2 minutes to teach, whatever. The problem is that now we have to figure out, when does a teach actually begin and end? Because when I teach games, I try to teach the game across the whole game. I try not to just unload everything at the beginning and then hope everyone remembers things as we go on our grand adventure. I can't do that. So, what do I do for time? When does a teach start? When does it end? My logic is that the teach starts when you've set up the game and you're explaining, like, you start the explanation, right? Like, the game has been set up and you actually, like, address people at the table as a whole for the first time. I feel like that's a pretty definitive start for a teach. Where it ends, I feel like a teach properly ends around, like, at least where I can say that we're like definitely teaching. I feel like it ends around when the first player that is not you makes a decision. I guess I should say, like, major decision, maybe? I'm thinking of a game like Clank, which I can see right over there on the floor, because I'm running out of shelf space. And I'm not running out of shelf space, it's just I keep swapping out games for my main shelf back here. And because I play a lot of games. Never trust a reviewer that their games never change positions, by the way. That means they don't play them. That, or they're way too organized, either of which have got to be a deal breaker for some people. Clank, yes. So with Clank, the reason why I say major decision is because in Clank, everybody's first 2 turns are basically the exact same. You can get lucky and be able to buy a really expensive card from the store, but usually you're buying the, like, 2 cost, 3 cost, whatever card that gives you a movement and 2 skill, like, every first 2 turns. That's basically your first 2 turns. There's some variability in that, but even the path that you take, the movement that you make is the same for everybody. The 2 spaces are usually the exact same. I might be thinking of specifically Clank and Space. The other Clanks might not do this as much, but in general, they all basically do this. It's after those first 2 turns, do you start getting to diversify your decisions, and that's where, like, a major decision is finally made. So I would say that for, like, Clank, the game starts being played and stops being taught, so to speak, at that 3rd turn. So if I were to time it, it would be once I have the game set up and I say, all right, everybody, this is what we're doing. And I would start the time. And then once I pass my turn, because I usually go first when I do a Clank teach, when I pass my turn to the person on the 3rd turn, that's when the teach ends. They're quantifiable, easy to explain. Like, you can measure it, you can say it, you can explain it. It's quantifiable. And that's really where I want it to be. But for some other games, that's more subjective, because I can make you, like, I would say that for a game like Catan, that first placement of your settlements and your roads is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make for the rest of the game. It really determines how the rest of the game plays out. So that's your first major decision, and I usually explain a lot of the rules of Catan after that first placement. In fact, I usually don't even do that first placement because of this. But if you do that first kind of initial placement where you sort of go in the snake draft and place all your settlements and roads, that's your first major decision, and you're making it in the first 30 seconds that you play the game. So I wouldn't say that game's fast to teach. I wouldn't say that game's like you can teach it in 30 seconds, because that's not true. You have to teach all the other rules of the game, and that takes easily another 10-15 minutes based on how detailed you want to go in with it. So yeah, there is a little bit of subjectivity into it with how you play the game and with how you teach it, because a lot of people most of the time teach games in the way that I see a lot of people do it, which is they just teach the whole game right at the start and then hope that works itself out, and it usually doesn't. It's usually terrible. So I don't know. So if we're going to go with time, because it is the more quantifiable one, what are the tiers for this? Because I can't just say a game is quick to teach, because that doesn't necessarily give you any information. I'd like to put a time to it, but then at that point, it's like, what are the tiers? 2, 10, 25, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? What? I don't know. Or is it like, is there a way that I can say like this game can be started in like 2 minutes and you can teach it during the rest of the game? I don't know. Someone did make a suggestion the other day. One of my friends, I believe my friend Maya, made this suggestion. She said that if a game takes 20-30 minutes to teach, a publisher is not going to want to stick it on their game, and that's totally fair. And I don't have like a home place to put these other than like maybe in these vodcasts. I don't have a website yet. I would love to make one, but I don't have a place to put these listed anywhere. And so I really am just thinking about this in terms of publishers and them taking this seal that I give it, and they can put it on the box if they want. Because I want to keep that alliteration. I think being able to say this is a 2-minute teach, that's so satisfying because of the alliteration. A 10-minute teach, a 20-minute teach, those are really solid, punchy, alliterative titles. But then I don't think 2, 10, and 20 are good increments for that. Granted, I don't really time how long it takes me to teach games, so maybe those are perfect increments for how long it takes to teach a game. But yeah, I don't think that's great. I do have in my notes that I want to talk about like potential tiers, just like generalized tiers, where it's like a game is fast to teach, a game is easy to teach, a game is difficult to teach. And I don't know which of those is good, is that bad? I don't know. I'm looking for feedback. I'm looking for feedback from people who look at those seals when they're buying games, maybe, or you just see it online, or you see it at the end of a video, and you think, okay, this is something that's informing my decision to purchase as a consumer. Would that be something that you're interested in? Would that be something that you take into account? Like if you saw a new game come out and you were like, this game looks really amazing, I'm going to look up how to teach video to see how to teach it. And at the end of the teach, I go, this is a really easy game to teach. I give it my easy teaching certificate thing, doodad. And you can go, wow, I know this game's going to be easy to teach. I know that I can get it to the table real easy. That's actually a thought I just had as I was speaking just then. If you've noticed, all my episodes follow a format. You have get it to the table, you have changes to setup, you have your setting the big 3, and then you have your teach. So those are like the 4 main sections of the video that like get broken down. Maybe I could do an award for all 4 sections if I think that a game is good at something in particular. So like, is a game welcoming to new players? That would be like a gold star for like changes to setup. Or maybe, is a game really easy to get people to play? Then that's a gold, like it just gets a general recommendation for me. Like the game has an interesting hook or theme or something that makes it really inviting to play. It's got something going on. Maybe like if it's an easy game to teach, it's just the teach part of the game is really easy. Once you start playing and all the rules just kind of explain themselves naturally, then that game's got a star for teaching. And if the game is really good at, setting yourself up for, but then I don't know how I would do my setting the big 3 part of that. So maybe it's just those 3 sections. How easy is this game to get to the table? How welcoming is it to new players, and how easy is it for you to teach? So I guess it's kind of like a little triangle or something. I don't know. That also doesn't take into account rulebooks, which is problematic because rulebooks are a very big part of teaching. Because you have to learn the game, and unless you're watching how to play videos, which I love and appreciate that those exist, outside of that, how hard is the game to learn? How well does the theme tie into the mechanics? Is the rulebook good for your teach? I don't know. And then ultimately, what would I name it? So these are all questions that I've been asking myself for a while now, and I would love some help on it. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below, because I want to know. Alright, Factory 126. Let's go back to your shelf. Now that we gotten that out of the way, let's unbox some stuff. Sweet, let's do it. I do not have... I mean, I guess I technically have a top-down camera, because there's a GoPro up there. That's too much effort. I like how I say that like it's up in the heavens. I have a bar that goes across. Originally, for how to teach, I was going to have a top-down view of what I was doing, and then I realized really quickly that is super unnecessary. It just doesn't make sense, and also it breaks the flow of the video. Like, there's no real reason to have that, because when I'm teaching you at the table, you're not looking down at the table from like a sky view. When you're being taught a game, you're looking at the person teaching it, so it kind of keeps the immersion together. Hey, look, I have an envelope. It says open here. Dear backer, if you read this letter, you have just become the lucky owner of the special edition of Castles of Burgundy. This unique results from a collaboration between Awakened Realms and Ravensburger, or Corvid Sandwich as I like to call them. From the very beginning, this was an exceptional project for us at Awakened Realms. Having the possibility to work on one of the legendary board games is such a fantastic honor to us. Moreover, having the opportunity to collaborate with Stefan Feld himself was a great experience and lesson for the future. But first of all, being able to deliver this special edition to such a great board gaming community is an indescribable pleasure. Let's see here. Does this get more interesting? We are presented depending with ideas you're working on last one, special edition for images on the journal. Nope, it doesn't. Cool. Important note. While we have prepared the shipment to the best of our abilities, there is a possibility that a small number of packages contain lacking damaged components or errors. Here are the possible problems. Bent or broken miniatures, damage resulting from outside box damage, missing elements. Thanks. Yeah, that is actually really cool that they do prime you before you open anything. Like, hey, we might have broken some stuff, so you better be ready. All right, this box is absolutely massive. Let's get everything out first. So we've got the acrylic tiles. So obviously I own the actual special edition first, so they had an option for just the people who already own the special edition to get all the like fancy bits. So that's all we're really looking at today. But we have the acrylic tiles. I was hoping that would make a cooler noise. We've got the acrylic hexes. Oh my god, that's heavy. Oh no. That's so heavy. See, the problem is that I was worried. I don't know why I thought it would make the box lighter. I don't think I thought any of that through. I don't think I thought absolutely any of that through. Oh god. This is just gonna make this game a nightmare to bring anywhere. We've got the terrain pack. It looks like it's been slashed open a little bit, which is fine. It looks like there's no actual damage. Ooh. Oh, wow. That's actually gorgeous. Okay. Getting distracted. And we have a neoprene board, it looks like. Hooray! Yay! I have increased the temperature of the planet by at least 4 degrees. Is there anything else hiding in this box? No. Be gone. All right, what do we got? Let's start with the board, because then I can just put that down, and then I can put stuff on top of it. Doop, 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 doop. Don't look at that out of context. All right, neoprene board. Hooray! It is what it says on the tin. The colors are actually really vibrant for a neoprene board. Like, usually they're a little less saturated than this, so I'm actually kind of impressed. Neat. Which way do they send it with it? Like, that actually lays pretty flat. I guess you can't really see it on the camera. You can kind of see it. If I move this over, move this back, and move this over, now you should be able to see it. It actually lays really flat outside of the box, which I've like never seen in a neoprene mat. I don't know if that's because I just took this in from outside and it was cold, but I mean, this lays pretty flat. And they put the 3 to 4 player version, I believe, on the side that rolls flat, which I think was a good decision. I think that's probably how most people are playing this game. It looks lovely. Well done, Awaken Realms, on the production value on this. What do we want to open next? Let's open, we'll go smallest to biggest. So we will set these aside, and we will open the acrylic tiles next. This has nothing to do with my channel, by the way, so this is more for me to justify buying these things, so I can make content out of it. So if you like my normal shenanigans, then maybe you will like this. Otherwise, you're free to leave. Put me onto the background. Okay, so these are basically just acrylic versions of... Is this taped? I think these are just acrylic versions of all the... Oh, they're like pre-wrapped. Yeah. So these are the like vineyard tiles, the bonus tiles. It's been a hot second. I'm realizing how quickly I have not played Castles of Burgundy. We have the little ticket tile things. Yeah, cool. Neat. These are all like individually wrapped, which I do not like, because that means I have to unwrap them, which I'm not going to do right now. Cool. Those are nice. The colors are nice. Moving on. Acrylic hexes. All right. I can't wait to sell this to someone else later when I never use it. No, I just need to get someone really addicted to Castles of Burgundy, so that way they'll want to play it all the time. Ooh, this one's definitely, like, weirdly enough, this is, like, almost heavier than the terrain pack, but... Alright, what do we got? Ooh, oh, wow, these are nice. Yeah, it's the same story with those. They're all individually wrapped, but oh my god, these are so much nicer than the cardboard ones. Like, I can just tell already. Let's see here. Can I open one of these now? I think I can. I will open up the yellow ones. Wow, this is like the hardest like shrink wrap plastic I've ever seen. I don't have anything to open this with, so we're just gonna have to struggle. There we go. Oh yeah, these are nice. The print's like really aligned. Like the actual quality of them. They're a little lighter than I think I was expecting them to be. I thought they were going to be really heavy, but honestly, I will take lighter over heavier when it comes to video games, when it comes to board games, because I hate carrying heavy games. I'm going to have so many hours of footage of me just trying to open things. Okay, you know what? I got it open enough for video. Yeah, these are nice. Print quality's good. It's like high resolution enough, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Cool. We have acrylic tokens. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember Broken Token or not, but they were a like laser cut wood accessory company, and they pretty much exclusively made wooden inserts. And the problem that I had with Broken Token, other than that the owner wound up being like a pedophile or something, which, you know, never great. But the thing that I had a problem with is even though that the wooden dividers and inserts were really nice, they were awesome to use, they're so freaking heavy. So you would bring them anywhere and you would just be like, arm would be dead from carrying your board game bag any distance at all. Maybe I'm just weak, which is very likely. I will say I do like Folded Spaces foam inserts a lot more. They're a lot lighter and just as good. And there is my shill for Folded Space. Hopefully, they will sponsor me. All right. Hello, Terrain Pack. This feels like an actual box. Like the other boxes that were contained. I got it. Okay. Like these boxes feel like we're giving you these boxes to just like show you what they are. And to like, you know, these feel like these are meant to go on store shelves to be resold. This box feels like it's meant to be like kept with the box. Like these two are gonna be transported. Like this feels like an actual board game box. So interesting. What are these? Are these like little play? I don't know what those are. We'll find out. All right. Is this just how it's supposed to be laid out? I think it is. Ooh, nice. These are cool. All right, so let's go through these one at a time, and I'm gonna make up names for them because I don't know what they're called. So we've got like the animal tiles. We've got cows. These are really, I mean, like, I don't know what I was expecting, because like the acrylic tiles are like solid. These are more like miniatures, so they're not gonna have the same kind of weight to them. I do find wow, this is like really flip-floppy. Oh my god, we have sheep. The world is a good place. 4 sheep. Oh my god, this is great. This is the best day ever. This was worth it. Every single penny of this was worth it. We have the little home tile things, the tan ones, whatever they're called. These are lovely. These actually are really nice detail. I think I opted for the nicer ones, but I don't know what the difference is. There was like I think there was like a wash that they did on these. I can't tell if they did or not. If that's the version I got. So, got like a little tower, got a little homestead farm thing. We've got a pirate ship. Hell yeah. As I like break it trying to get it off when I know that's not how that works. All right, let's look at the other ones. This is probably the worst produced unboxing video. The thing is that those do technically fit in that box, so if you're just really cool with a lot of lid lift. How do you even get this out? Okay, this just kind of opens. I'm not even gonna try to get this out. Let's see here. We've got all the yellow tiles, all the monastery, whatever they're called. This shows how big of a fan of the game I am. I don't know what any of the tiles are called. These feel more substantial, I will say. We've got like the little mines. Those look nice. I mean, they're all pretty good. There's a good amount of detail on these, to be honest. They look pretty well made. So I'm impressed with the level of quality they managed to get out on these. Yeah, I have little to nothing to say. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, these look nice. Sweet. I don't know if I'll ever use them. I think I will at some point. I want to do a how to teach video for Castles of Burgundy because I would then have a justification for using all the special upgrade bits and my video would look really nice. But I want freaking... Who actually made Castles of Burgundy? I don't actually know. I want whoever made Castles of Burgundy to sponsor an episode of How to Teach, and they wouldn't even have to send me the expensive stuff. I would already have it, because I make poor decisions with my money. Hooray. I'm sure they have some function. Maybe they're for the game? I don't know. Basically, I'm just outing myself as a fake fan. Let's see here. This box contains high-quality models that can be added to Castle of Burgundy Special Edition as a replacement for cardboard hex tiles. 4 monastery sideboards. 150 plus high-quality models. Neat. All the buildings, all the inns. Yeah, the monastery sideboards. Interesting. Cool. Well, that was all the stuff. So, anyways, all right. I'm done. Go away. All right. Cool. I opened all the things. I don't know how to end this. Someday I hope to play Castles of Burgundy. Cool.